This week, I'm back in Hawaii. Rip reacts directly to Bill Bidwell, and the college football playoffs are all set. Richie Bradshaw of the Locked On Sun Devils podcast swings by to talk about the Arizona State football squad and share the story of how the hell this even happened. Enjoy this episode.
Christmas is 2 weeks away. One-star listeners, hop on over to 500level.com to get all the best t-shirts from the great Sun Devils in the NFL. Brandon Ayuk, Jack Jones, Rashad White, our guy, Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back. All the Sun Devils in the NFL, 500level.com, the best t-shirts on the internet. Use the discount code DK and RIP at checkout for 20% off everything on the site. DKANDRIP. 500level.com. Let's go.
Yo, aloha. Welcome to the One Star Recruits podcast. Checking in 173, 6'1", for the last time ever in Kalaheo, Hawaii. For the last time. I'm going to keep my alohas going, Rip. I thought about that on the plane, one of these plane rides I was on. Should I keep alohas going? Should I do something that's more Oregonian now? You know, hello, good morning. Hello. I don't even know what the hell they say. What do you think? Should I? I'm going to keep the aloha. It's part of me.
Based on those options you just threw out, yeah, let's keep aloha. I don't care. Anything but those other two. Come on, DK.
It's one of the best greetings out there. Two things that I'm going to carry with me forever. Probably way more, but two things that I'm going to carry with me forever that are recognizable. One, alohas. They're going to continue. I'm going to continue to do aloha. Second, it's not leaving. I'm throwing shakas. The shaka is going to stay with me for life. You will not catch me doing a peace sign. You will not catch me doing a top of the steering wheel finger up wave. Sometimes people do that one. Tip of the hat. Not a tip of the hat guy. I'm going to be a shaka guy. And people will be like, God, is that DK throwing the shaka? And somebody in the vicinity will be like, oh, yeah. He lived in Hawaii. And there you go. My story is written.
They're gonna kick you out of Beaverton if you do too many of those. I think you got a two per week limit up in the 503 over there.
No way. 10th Island up there. Beaverton. Down there in all the hills of Portland. Anyway, Rip. Aloha, man. Aloha. It's been a wonderful last week here. Gotta be completely honest. Just 80 degrees. Low of 72. A little bit of allergies in the air if I got to find a little complaint here. Not a complainer, though, but a little bit of allergies in the air. Had to make the decision to do the $24.99 Claritin or the generic allergy medicine at Long's Drugs. It was an easy decision. You'd be proud of me. I bought the generics, Rip. I mean, it's all marketing. That's $20 of marketing, of quality commercials from Claritin that got in my head, but I stood there for about 20 minutes. I tried to study, Rip.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. I work in advertising, and that price difference is exactly like you said. It goes to marketing and advertising. Those big corporate name brands. There's a reason there's so much money behind those. So good job. I'm guaranteed that generic works just as well as that Claritin or Zyrtec you got there, sitting on the shelf, leaving it at $35 a bottle.
Yeah, it did work. It's really nice when you get that allergy stuff a couple of days and it actually works. Amazing. Thank you, technology. AI's back. It's been months since I mentioned AI. They're making generic meds. But it's been wonderful, Rip. I'm enjoying every moment, man. It's been a week here without animals, family, wife, solo human, solo man by myself. I've been ocean swimming, ocean watching, running, bike riding, pickleballing, getting sun on my skin. That's going to get taken away. My biggest feedback. So I went to the Bay Area. I went up to Oregon. We did all kinds of stuff. We got some settled. It was about a week and a half, maybe 10 days away from this little slice of heaven here. My biggest takeaway coming back was the simplest, clearest thing in my entire life. And I'm going to own it. It's fucking time. And this is controversial moving to Beaverton. Rip. You ready?
Pickleball rules? What is it? Different pickleball rules?
No, nothing like that. This is directly affecting DK. For the last 10 days, I've been wearing these Nike Dunks. They're fine. I know they're not workout shoes. I know these aren't shoes to do like more stuff than travel around, which is what I was doing for the most part. So they were a fine shoe to bring, but my only shoe. So after wearing them for 12 days, I got home, I took them off, and I slid on to what might as well be silk, fine, fucking the best, most comfortable thing in the entire world after putting these Nikes on my feet. Thank God for Hoka. This was the most clearest clarity I've had maybe in 43 years. That one shoe, the Nike, was so incredibly uncomfortable, and I didn't even think about it till I did the switch over to when I put this Hoka on. Just a completely different foot life experience. Life experience changed my whole day. Changed my whole day. No more. I know I'm moving to Beaverton. Guess what, Rip? Completely switching over. Not a dollar will be spent on uncomfortable shoes anymore, particularly in the Nike family. I think I'm going with the modern shit. And we've joked about Hoka. Yeah. Guess what? 5-star rec. I'm completely going to be a Hoka guy moving forward. 0 Nikes will be purchased from me moving forward. And thanks to the homie Dave Cow for hooking up these dunks because they were hard to get. These are like nice ones. These aren't like panda dunks, Rip. These are like good ones here. I might donate them. I'm done with it. Now that I'm a P-ball player, now that I'm playing some pickleball, scrambling on the pickleball court, sometimes we call it yamming on the pickleball court, I won't go for uncomfortable shoes anymore. These hogs are too important. So this, out of all the shit that I went through, bro, house, car, new town, in-laws, flights, animals, Hokas remain king. That's my biggest takeaway.
Drawing a line in the sand here on One Star Recruits, December 11th, 2024. You're making me really proud this episode, DK. I know you're going to catch heat from these so-called sneakerheads that listen to One Star Recruits every week. There's one in particular in mind that I know is just going to bash you. Might even make a little reel out of this to kind of mock you on social media. But hey, welcome to 2024. Welcome to the Old Man Pod. Hoka's literally saved your life. People don't know you ran away from that fire in Lahaina in a pair of Hokas, got some ash on them, got a new pair laced up, and been buying them ever since. So there's a reason you're loyal to Hoka, and I'm proud of you, man.
Is what it is. Comfort's king. And they did come through after that fire last year with a free pair for me and my family, which is very nice.
If you had dunks on when you were running away from that thing, you might not even have made it. You might have tripped up.
Might have. I might have had plantar fasciitis from that run there too, because there's no support in the heel or the arch, you know. It's just too deep in the game though, Rip. It was just clear as day. Clear as day, and that's what I do on the One Stars. I'm going to clear as day this shit moving forward, and it was an epiphany moment for me. So let it be known. Let it be known. Hit me up, listeners, if you have Nikes that are better. Actually, I need to figure out what are good pickleball / trainer shoes. If I should be looking for a particular thing, a specialty brand, maybe, Rip. I don't know, something from Japan or along those lines. Or if there's maybe some Rafael Nadals out there, maybe some Messi trainers that I haven't heard of that could work on. I need some input on all this shit. So I'm throwing it out to the universe, man. Couple breaking news things before we get into Arizona State. Billy Belichick, Rip, back in the game. Head football coach, University of North Carolina Tar Heels, 1 to 5 stars, Rip. You like this for Billy Belichick?
I mean, I got to be honest. I don't love it. I'm going to say 3 stars. The guy, like I said on a couple episodes ago, these guys just can't retire. I mean, the guy's in his 70s. Just hang out, have fun. You're making millions and millions of dollars being on TV and Pat McAfee show to go to a mid-tier Power 4 school, North Carolina. Really, North Carolina, Bill? I think you can either do better than that, and by doing better than that, I think you could just stay retired, man. That'd be 5 stars to me.
Well, the game has changed, as our athletic directors have told us, as Richie will tell us here when he hops on the show in college football. North Carolina, SMU, Arizona State, these places now, the way the system's set up and the way that the portal works and the NIL system works, Rip, this could get turned around in one season and become, maybe, dare I say it, an easier job. It seems like some of the recruiting and the harder work that a 75-year-old man, curmudgeon, like Bill Belichick might not like, going to visit recruits at their house, this and that. Seems like now you got money talking. Money's doing the heavy lifting in kind of those really shitty tasks. So maybe he can football guy it, Rip. Did that change your mind at all?
No, I'm still a firm believer that he should have just stayed retired. I think that he's gonna have a hard time going back to the college game and maybe be humbled a little bit. Maybe, you know what, DK? Maybe it's the high time to get the AD from North Carolina on to talk about this, talk about the reasons why. I mean, for them, it's an obvious benefit. He's a huge name, brings a lot of notoriety and winning ways, but I don't know, man. NFL for a 75-year-old guy versus college, it's a different era. I don't know how he's going to be able to handle it.
Well, I just told you, Rip, the money will do the heavy lifting. You bring in a good staff, and you hope that you can move some kids who are disgruntled in the SEC. Some of those LSU kids right now, not a bad place. Go get on a pro roster for a year, figure it out. Some of those cats who might be down in the Florida State system, suddenly North Carolina looks interesting. Maybe top uniform if the right player was in it. Julius Peppers, the last guy I can even remember really owning that uniform. I think it's low stock. I think he's buying the stock low and it can only go up. It's like the city of Portland, Rip. We're buying it low right now. It can only go up. Speaking of up, dude, BYU Cougars basketball. They got the number one guy. Rip, go ahead. Break the news.
Yeah, AJ DeBonsa, previously coached by our guy Cam Quick from the Oakland Soldiers up there in the Bay Area. Number one prospect in the NBA draft for 2026. He committed to BYU, kind of a shocker for everyone out there, but he was at a prep school in Utah right there, Utah Prep, right around Provo. So I think kind of just staying in that area, staying in a kind of low key, no pressure environment. And really for him, the job is just don't mess anything up in the next 12 months, and he's going to be the number one pick in the NBA draft. So a good decision, I think. I mean, if you saw his commitment video, it was a little different. He had a helicopter drop in, a Red Bull, and a BYU hat. So you know he got paid off that. Probably one of the first people to get paid off their commitment video, but he's already doing it. He's already making money. And like I said, just 12 months, don't mess it up, and he'll be good.
Kevin Young, congratulations. BYU, landmark day for BYU. And I guess Red Bull shit. I mean, they got the right guy. He's a very particular cat with who he partners with, and maybe one of the first guys who's in that. I'm gonna say it, Rip, very lightly, potentially McGrady, maybe Kobe type player range who's using this new kind of college system interestingly. Possibly in the right way, though, Rip. You know what I mean when I say that. There's a way right now to use it in a get money fast, and then there's a way to use it to maybe build on foundational partners that could be with you for 25, 30, 35 years. Think MJ, think Steph Curry with Under Armour, so on and so forth. So congratulations, AJ. I mean, we've been trying to get him on the pod. He only does the right pod at the right time for the right dude. So now that he's settled in BYU, maybe it's time for a one-star run. I'm close. 6-hour drive, I think, from Portland, maybe 8 hours. I'll hop on the RAV4, Rip. We'll come on down, do a nice little interview, just perhaps on the new momentum in college sports.
Speaking of new eras, DK, something that absolutely nobody saw coming before the beginning of this season, except for maybe one man, Kenny Dillingham, the coach of Arizona State. No one's locked in more, has his finger on the pulse of the Valley, finger on the pulse of the Sun Devils. Let's bring in Richie Bradshaw from the Locked On Sun Devils podcast to talk ASU football.
All right. So listeners, let's back it up just a little bit here. Rip is an Arizona State alumni. Rip, go ahead. Year and degree.
Class of 2000, man. Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, proud alum. And I always feel lonely on this pod because you're an NAU guy, but happy to have a fellow Sun Devil on here, the Sun Devil in the Valley, Richie Bradshaw, man. Welcome to One Star Recruits.
Dude, it's my pleasure. Any chance I get to come on and talk about ASU, it's like, well, how can I say no? It's the best, especially when you're actually good at football this year. So yeah, my pleasure. Appreciate the invite, guys.
Platform's yours, Richie, because you're the toast of the town. I mean, I'm sure you're going to be called on many over the next 21 days we have until this game kicks off. Listeners, we have the host. He's the Locked On Sun Devils. Check that out. Great podcast. Great follow on X. Cardinals, ASU alumni. I do see in the Twitter bio. I got to go through this because I get the Ravens. I understand that one. MCU. Hit me.
just like my superhero stuff. So I mean, DC. I don't hate DC stuff. I just know that MCU's been ahead of them a little bit. But I mean, you give me good superhero stuff. I'm all about it. Penguin, phenomenal for DC. Pretty much anything Batman. But yeah, just love my superhero stuff.
Well-rounded human listeners is what I'm getting at here. So ASU guy, we're going to talk ASU football, but give him a follow because well-rounded guy with all kinds of great stuff, mental health stuff, wonderful follow. Go follow him. Now, Richie, year and degree, Arizona State.
It was pretty much a how do I get out of here as quick as I can? Because I tried to get into the Cronkite program. They have got a journal or the journalism, what's it called a grammar course. You get 2 shots to get through it. If you don't get through it, you don't get in. First time, I didn't take it seriously. Got like a 68%. You need an 80%. I was like, okay, well, might need to try a little harder next time. Second time, got a 78. I was like, that sucks. So had to figure it out. So the not the title, the name of my degree is liberal studies in journalism or something like that. And I'm like, cool, whatever. Let's get out of here.
Let's go. Like me, bro. Like me. I couldn't figure it out either. So I finally found a hotel restaurant management. I was like, okay,
Perfect.
here we go. That
My
I can
name's on paper.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay, good. We're even. And it's a great time to be a Sun Devil and a Devil alumni. Dude, so Richie, this Dillingham story, this Sun Devil story has been really like a movie a little bit. It's all been a tad bit confusing with the team being ranked last, the transfer portal stuff, the NIL stuff, change of conference, and then here we are. So I like to explain things on this show to my mom directly because she's just not a sports lady. And I think this is a great opportunity for you just to tell this story, Richie. Tell it like you're telling it to my mom of how we went from that to where we are here today with the Arizona State Sun Devil football team.
Well, I mean, it all starts with the violations during COVID-19 and the sanctions that were handed down to ASU because of the previous regime doing all of their not their scouting, their recruiting and everything during the dead period where no one was allowed to do anything and ASU did it anyways. They got caught, and after a handful of years of trying to figure out, what the right punishment is and everything like that, they finally handed it out, and ASU just they got crushed, and they needed to get crushed because doing any kind of violations during a global pandemic, yeah, it's a pretty big no-no. So bring in Kenny Dillingham after firing Herm Edwards 3 games into the 2022 season. And Dillingham comes in. Everyone's really excited about him, but we also realize how big of a hole he is in. I mean, you can't really place a guy in a bigger dumpster fire of a situation to try and turn a program around. And Kenny Dillingham himself will tell you, like, this is typically one of those situations where, like, you're kind of hired to be fired while a program will get themselves turned around. Like, we see it all the time in different levels of sports and in football, baseball, whatever, where, sometimes you just got to get someone there to kind of get the team managed while everything's going on in the background. So that was always a very realistic possibility for Kenny Dillingham, was just to be a guy that's kind of a placeholder while they get it figured out. But what they ended up doing right was you get someone who is from the Valley, someone who cares about Arizona State, someone who cares about the university and everything that's going on in one of the biggest metropolitan cities
And
in the country.
Richie, for my mom, you say from the Valley. Dude is born, went to elementary, like from the
Uh-huh.
Valley, listeners, when we say that. Go on, continue on.
No, yeah, like the Valley, and he crafts that hashtag activate the Valley, right? To get everyone to say we gotta support this team. When it comes to Arizona sports, like, if you are good, you have some of the most loyal fans out there. When the Phoenix Suns were bad, it was pretty hard to get people out there. But the last handful of years where they've been good with Devin Booker and then you bring in Kevin Durant and everything, that's the hottest ticket in town. You have now seen that very quickly turn around for ASU, where it was hard to get people to go to football games in Mountain America Stadium. It's the hottest ticket in town right now. So when you get the support of the Valley that we like to talk about out here, is Phoenix and all the surrounding little cities. they've got it now, and everybody is all in on Kenny Dillingham and the Sun Devils football program, and it's very exciting times right now. It's a turnaround that nobody saw coming. We've talked to Kenny in post game, and it's like, hey man, this stuff is typically like at least a 3-year rebuild. It's been 2 years, and you've already got them turned around in the right spot. I mean, they're going to the college football playoff for the first time in program history. It's success that I don't think was ever going to be realistic, and yet here we are with one of the brightest futures that we've seen for Sun Devils football. And I'm here to tell you that this is not just a Cinderella team. This is like sustainable the way that he's building this program right now.
Yes. Yes. Rip, how you like that alumni over there? Rip, how do you like your running back? Although I'm going to go ahead and let you talk about he did not get to New York. He's not on the Heisman stage. He should be. Sacramento State, though. Rip, my co-host, Rip, how have you enjoyed just watching Cam from an alumni, peel away your sports podcast guy, from a human from Arizona, watching this guy? Are you as proud as I am?
I'm super proud. He's a true one star. We're one stars. He's a one star. Came basically out of nowhere. Sacramento State, like you said, a true lunch pail guy, and just one of those guys that when you watch him play, like quickly becomes a fan favorite. Even before this crazy season, like you watched him last year, he was doing a little bit of this stuff. Just a fan favorite and a guy everybody wants to root for. Cam Scatterboo.
2,000 yards, 22 total touchdowns. Everybody's talking Scatterboo, and they should be. Richie, who are some other guys on this Arizona State team that we should be keeping an eye on? I know you like that secondary. What are some other players, some other guys we should keep an eye on?
Love that secondary. Love the secondary. Xavier Alford, the safety who was just named to first team all conference, is phenomenal. There's some ball hawking skills there from him. But the thing that I love is this is just the leader on the defense. He carries himself as the guy. I'm the signal caller. I'm going to get everyone lined up. I'm the rah guy. You see him pregame, postgame, all the videos that ASU will be posting to get the fans excited. Consistently, number 2, Xavier Alford, is in the middle of it, screaming, hollering, swearing, and getting everyone riled up and everything. You've also got a really, really good young corner duo on the outside with Javen Robinson and Keith Abney. Those two, very, very young players, and they have really gotten better as the weeks have progressed. And ASU's got something really nice going on with the two of them right now. The safety depth is phenomenal, excuse me. Shamari Simmons, they're arguably their best defensive player, honestly. They had such a surplus of talent at safety that they moved him to nickel this year, and his role has become that much more important as someone who not only is a veteran on the team, but has found ways to flourish in separate or not even separate, just multiple roles, like in deep coverage near the line of scrimmage, all that good stuff. He's a good run defender. Like they have a really good beefy interior defensive line, and you try and bounce it outside, and Shamari Simmons is going to find a way to chase you down. Secondary is terrific. It's a perfect blend of young talent with some really, really good veterans as well. I really like this secondary. The front seven is pretty darn solid as well, but everything just comes together when you have a defensive coordinator in Brian Ward who is just able to craft a perfect game plan, even if he has to make adjustments. And then you have the guys on this team that will take the coaching and then apply it for how to correct anything that's not going right, or to simply keep your foot on the gas pedal and on the opposing team's throat.
Yeah. Their defense, that's for the diehards out there, because that's the side of the ball that we haven't been talking about as much. So great acknowledgement there. Keep an eye on that. They did a wonderful job against Higgins, I believe, at Iowa State. Game planning for him. He's great. He might be playing on Sundays. So some things to watch, Mom, when you're watching the Peach Bowl. Okay, you got new stuff to keep an eye on. Rip, are you concerned at all about this time off? Georgia has some time off. I know they're excited about it. I mean, shit, we're talking a 6-game winning streak. We got Mo working for us. Nobody likes to go against Mo, really. Are you concerned, Rip, about this time off?
I'm not, especially when you got a guy like Dillingham leading the charge. And to be honest, we have a lot of little injuries that it'll just give a little bit of time to get better. I'm actually asking a question I never thought I'd have to ask 6 months ago. We got to buy. Richie, who would you rather play, Clemson or Texas?
Here's what I'll tell you. I don't know that there's any team in the country right now that I myself am afraid of. I would double down and tell you for sure there's not a single team in the country that this ASU football team, this 11-2 Big 12 champion Arizona State Sun Devils team, that they look at any team, whether it's number one Oregon or it's Alabama, who's not even in the playoff or anything like that. There's not a team out there that they go, oh my God, there's no way we can beat them. They have the confidence right now that they can go up against absolutely anybody that gets put up against them moving forward. You've also got the way that you're playing these games right now that it works the other way too, where the other 11 teams that are in the playoff, unless they're trying to get bounced, they need to look at ASU and go, that is absolutely a team that can beat us. Like, take out the preseason expectations that were placed on them and throw them out the window. That is a dangerous football team right now. So your first the Peach Bowl opportunity presents you either Clemson or Texas. Those are two really, really, really good football teams. I would tell you Texas remains one of the best teams, like top to bottom, from starters to backups, in terms of overall depth and talent and future pros and everything. They haven't lived up to that standard yet. Clemson has been playing really good football this year, and Dabo Swinney is, college football royalty at this point in time. You have two really good opportunities in front of you. I don't mind either way. I will tell you just personally, I do not like Texas. I've just got my own personal vendetta with them. Give me Texas, because my goodness, it'd be amazing just for me personally to be able to take down Texas in our first ever college football.
Give it to
playoff
Richie
win.
Bradshaw. Give us the horns down right now, Richie. Let's just give one to get the vibes going.
Absolutely. Get those horns all the way down, man.
Yeah, I like that matchup. I like that matchup too. Dude, great breakdown. Good football breakdown. Stay with us for the rest of the show, Richie. You done to keep rolling with us?
Yeah, why not? I got nothing to do.
Let's do it, man. We'll keep it going. My rip, bowl season's going to be pretty good. I mean, Richie mentioned some of these squads that aren't in the playoffs, which just made some of these shitty bowl games a little bit better. The ReliQuest Bowl in Tampa on December 31st now is Alabama, Michigan. Rip, you know what I mean? That's usually like an ASU fucking Fresno State game. So wonderful. We're getting some of this action with this changes. We got Deion Sanders first bowl game. He's going against BYU down in San Antonio. You excited about any other bowl games, Rip, coming up? Any jump out at you?
Really, it's like you said, it's the chance to kind of see some of these NFL prospects play. And a lot of these guys skip the bowl games, but we know Shadur is going to play. We know Cam Ward's going to play for Miami in that Pop-Tarts Bowl. So really just getting a last look at these guys in college, because these guys are going to be playing for the Raiders, the Jags, all kinds of shitty teams next year.
Snacks dominating in the bowl game naming, I noticed. You've Pop-Tarts Bowl, Iowa State, Miami, Cheez-Its, Citrus Bowl, Richie Bradshaw, pretty good one. We have the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Snacks getting up in this thing a little bit, kind of cool. What's a snack that's missing that needs to get in? Richie, you got one? Who needs a bowl game that doesn't have one?
We have a Mountain Dew Bowl or like anything remotely close to like some kind of soda, because I'm a soda nut. Like Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, all that good stuff. I love how much Dr. Pepper is involved with the playoff. Give me some kind of like soda bowl game, which would totally be the last thing you would expect to sponsor an athletic event. But yeah,
slap them in there. Yeah, I've been liking the Dr. Pepper commercials where the kid says my defense sucks is the last one. So good. Dr. Pepper, pretty good. Dr. Pepper, only really drink it when I'm in the state of Texas. Horns down again. Throw them down. Horns down for Whataburger. Screw it. 1-star moments. Let's do it. Listeners, we're 1-stars. We talk about things that other people don't talk about, including moments. We all have them. We're going to share them. My rip, 1-star rip, 1-star moment of the week. What do you got?
I'm going to roll with Richie. I know he's a big soda guy, but my 1-star moment this week came yesterday. My wife she went to grocery outlet. They all kinds of crazy shit over there. She brought back this beef jerky, Jack Link's beef jerky, laced with Dr. Pepper. I don't know if you've ever seen this. Dr. Pepper beef jerky. My kid opened it. I was like, oh, kind of sounds interesting, right? Dr. Pepper mixed with beef jerky. Took one bite out of a piece of that thing. Probably the worst snack I've had in the last 10 years. So bad. It's sitting on the counter right now. Nobody even wanted to eat it after my reaction. So, Richie, if you send me your address, I got an open pack of Jack Link's Dr. Pepper beef jerky. I'll mail out to you with a 1-star recruits t-shirt. Worst moment of the week, 1-star moment of the week, eating a piece of Dr. Pepper beef
It worked.
jerky.
The concept works, sweet and savory for me. The concept works, but was it more Dr. Pepper or more beef, Rip, that you were getting?
It tasted like corn syrup, a bunch of corn syrup
Mm.
mixed with beef and salt. Not good.
Nah, it's pretty one star, man. Yeah, good for your wife for trying new shit, though. I like that when spouses give it a go with a new product from the store. It's always like an exciting day for adults. My one star moment of the week here. So I'm moving. I'm moving from Hawaii back to the mainland. I have this putter. Richie, I don't have all my golf clubs right now, but I have this one putter that I've been traveling with. And now I'm at this conundrum of I need to get it back to the mainland for me. Now, the island that I live on makes it difficult for me to find boxes. So this particular box that fits this putter that's the right size and width. I've been to 3 places now. They don't have them. So I sent out the group text to my golf buddies. Hey, how do I get a putter back to the mainland? You can't travel with it. It's a whipping. Rip, I know you think just put it can't carry it on. Okay. So the number one response is my one star moment. This is the time that we live in, this dystopian ass era of this world. 2 people sent me an Amazon link to get a box delivered to my house with a bigger box to then ship my putter. So for $10, I'd be getting a box within a box for a box. And at that point in time, I said, this world is crazy. So my plan B is I'm going to go to like a golf course, a couple golf courses today and see if they maybe have something laying around. I refuse to order a box in a box. You know what I mean? Is that one star, Rip, or am I standing on my morals, on my ground?
I like that. The problem is you're in a remote area of Hawaii, so you could probably spend like $20 in gas driving around to all these golf courses when you could have just ordered the box in the box.
Shit. It's all very confusing, man. We'll see. I'll keep the listeners updated. That's where my life is right now. I'm stuck on this conundrum here. Richie Bradshaw, one star moment of the week.
This one was more of a my fault than anything, but my debit card was set to expire at the end of the year. And I thought I was going to be smart. And I was like, oh, I'll just take care of it now. I got the card in the mail, blah, 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 activate everything. And then I sit down and I go to do my bills. And I'm like, I haven't paid a single thing. I have to reset my credit card information in every single thing that I pay for. So guess what I've got to do for the rest of the day as I sit there and I'm like, oh, I'll be smart. I'll get ahead of it. Well, could have saved myself an hour, maybe an hour and a half's worth of time and just made the payments first and then figure it out. That's what I get for thinking too much. Don't think.
There should be an update for when that happens, because there's about 5 or 6 things that we all got the bills that are on reoccurrings, the things. It should be a quick API. Look at that word. Look at that tech language, Rip, for you. API, connecting those damn things, because you're right. I hate that too. I'm dealing with it now because I'm moving. And now I'm in the situation where they're asking me for my billing zip code on a lot of the stuff. I can't even really remember because it's a different story. I'm going on a tangent. Good one, though. Good one. 1 star. I have a consolation prize. I'll be quick here with it. I went to a holiday party this week. It was wonderful. Shout out to TK. Great party. It was outdoor. There's about 30 people. It was in kind of a smaller area, but it was outdoor. Food was bring your own food, and the food was really good. Here's where the 1 star lies with me. The food consisted of some things like deviled eggs, delicious, but deviled eggs, and then a Thai peanut butter sandwich, which I've never had before, some chicharrones, some heavier foods that led to pretty immediate gas for me, like pretty quickly. Deviled eggs in particular, be very careful. This is my warning for holiday party goers. So you're having a good time, just be aware of what you're eating. Within 15 minutes, I had the fart shart thoughts going through my head, and then I had to do the test rip in a group. It was not good. It was bad enough that I did an Irish goodbye. I did an Irish goodbye at the event because I was that nervous. Turns out the host, I followed up with him the next morning. Great party, everybody happy. Turns out, unsolicited, the host said, you know what, though? I had the farts like crazy. So maybe just our age group thing. So I just want to have people be more aware. Lots of farts going on at holiday parties. Be careful what you eat.
Deviled eggs for the win right there.
Deviled eggs for the farts. Those are always the culprits, but they're always very delicious. 1 star Rex of the week. Anything you recommend? Go ahead, Rip.
Yeah, recommendation of the week is pretty simple. It's that time of the year. Every fantasy football player knows that the playoffs are starting. So really the recommendation of the week, and DK, we had an experience with this week, is just fantasy football etiquette. You got to know etiquette. You got to, if you're in last place, you can't go spending money on a hot waiver wire pickup. Let the teams that are battling out for the playoffs have those guys. And also fill your lineup. We had it happen this week in the 20th annual league, DK. Massive playoff implications on the line. A guy had 3 empty bench spots. Can't happen. As long as you're
Kick him
alive,
out.
as long
Kick
as you
him out.
as long as you have a pulse, you got to make that happen. So rec of the week is just fantasy football etiquette. There's articles about it. Google it if you need to know and catch up on it. But you can't affect the fantasy football league by making bonehead moves.
So embarrassing. Richie Bradshaw, you in the playoffs in your fantasy league?
Absolutely not. No, my teams are terrible this year. Everyone decided to get injured, and then just like 95% of everyone else, I was like, oh, I'll get a good tight end this year. And the tight end was like, fuck you will, dude. No, you will not. I was like, cool, thanks. At least ASU's good because God knows my fantasy team.
Oh boy, you got Laporta and Kelsey, it sounds like, loaded up down there. What's your record of the week, Richie?
Record of the week. Man, I don't even know. Like if you're looking for championship stuff for your team, hopefully you're an ASU fan. Shop local, Cactus Sports. They've got everything that you need. I'm going there to get my stuff this upcoming week. I gotta quote unquote make time to go down and spend all my money on ASU championship stuff. So hopefully your team won a championship game. If you're a U of A fan, sorry, don't know what to tell you. I'd say it's basketball season, but not even that's going for you.
Dude, great local rep for holiday season. Give it a shout out again. Cactus Sports, what street's it on?
Mill Avenue out in Tempe, so pretty much right in the middle of all the good stuff. I don't know the exact location. They also have online, and that's
Google it.
where I do all my good stuff. Cactus Sports, it's the best.
Cactus Sports, it's local, support local. And as I'm doing some shopping, I'm now moving to Oregon, so I see all this Ducks gear, which good gear, good uniforms, good options. Guess who's the best in the Big 12 and who's been holding it down in uniform, colors, and matching for now, maybe 8 years? Arizona State Sun Devils. You want to make somebody really happy, get them the yellow hoodie with Sparky on the front. Even if they don't like football, it's a great fucking logo. It's a cool look. So check it out, Cactus Sports. Richie, nice rec, bro. That's how we do it here. I'm going to do, I got to do it, Rip, because, I flew with my animals. I was stressed about it, whatever. Let's give them their flowers. Alaska Airlines, by far the best, most friendly travel with your dogs airlines out there. Now I've lived it, and I've been through a couple bad experiences with others and a good one with Alaska. I'm going to crown them, Rip, undisputed king of traveling with dogs. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on. I have a Sherpa traveler bag, also a highly recommended traveler bag for animal travelers out there. This bag is bigger than the 11 and a half inches that it says online of travel with. And I've gotten pushback in the past, not Alaska Airlines. They're like, oh shit, is your animal comfortable? Oh, it looks, what a cute dog. Come on in. The weather, it's a nice inside. Okay. So Alaska Airlines, thank you. Keep that up. I really think that I don't know what the total addressable market of the dog traveling business is, but it's growing. Idea alert, downstairs, just do a whole dog and owner unit. And you can rent it like a suite maybe. Think about it, Alaska Airlines. Got an idea for you guys. Rips Reacts. Hit the music. I got an idea while we're hitting the music. Rip, hit it. We didn't talk Phoenix Suns. We didn't talk Arizona Cardinals quite yet. Suns, in a tough spot, but I was working the NBA trade machine. And Richie, we don't have to get into it too much. I like doing this. Let me hit you with just one that worked this morning. You tell me thumbs up or thumbs down. You ready?
Hit me.
Bradley Beal. We're going to bring back Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Schroeder, who is just so slept on, especially in a playoff run. You make that trade.
Oh, God, that's tough. You would love to get Cam Johnson back, and I know that he's got some of the favoritism with the fans and everything. I would have to see numbers that everyone's been doing this year because I've just been so busy with the Suns, but it's hard to move Beal, but I mean, get some depth for a team that over the recent years, I mean, that's been the thing that's killed them when they've got to the playoffs is like, yeah, you got like 3 or 4 superstars, but you've got no depth, and that's where you get killed. So bringing back Cam Johnson, yeah, it's a downgrade from Bradley Beal, but bringing in some of the other guys as well, I don't know. I'd have to take a look. I would tell you, some medium, I guess, in the sense of like standby to standby.
I'll take it. Yeah, it's the only one that worked with the numbers. It's tough. That contract really sucks a lot. Rip just bought tickets for the Christmas Day game against the Nuggets. He's very excited to show his kids the Joker, as he should be. Also is very excited to see Kevin Durant play. Rich, you think Kevin Durant will be playing on Christmas Day?
God, I hope so. He's so good when he's on the court, and we've already seen this year, as is typical of most years, he's always banged up. But when he's on there, I mean, there's few guys in the history of the NBA that are as deadly as he is in so many different ways, defensively, shooting, all that good stuff. And he's the reason why your window is so open right now. Like, it's still a good team without Kevin Durant, but as long as Kevin Durant is on the Suns, you're going to have a chance, if everything gets going for you, to make a run in the postseason. Him and Booker are just terrific together. So hopefully KD's back. I don't remember what the most recent time frame was for him. I know he just got hurt though, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's got to stay healthy. When you're this age, I told Rip it's fingers crossed, and hopefully he'll be playing. That's a game that he wants to play, Rip. So fingers crossed you can see the matchup and your kids can see that matchup. My Rip, Juan Soto got paid $765 million. That's higher than LeBron's. That's higher than most valuations of MLS teams, to be honest with you. Good for you, Juan Soto. Biggest story really is that the tide turned to New York from the Yankees to the Mets, though, which I like. Rip, my Rip, favorite Met of all time.
I gotta go David Wright, just a kind of quiet guy, but Mr. Consistent. I think won an MVP about 15 years ago. Locked down third base, hit homers, stole some bases when he was a little younger. So yeah, just kind of underappreciated. Dave, everyone talks about the '86 team, which was now 40 some years ago. Now Juan Soto's the guy, but David Wright is a guy who was there for a long time and had a really good Hall of Fame career. David Wright.
All nice guy team. David Wright, maybe Craig Counsell put on that team. Maybe David Bell put on that team. Ex-Diamondback with the glasses. Richie, you think Juan Soto spend the next 15 years as a Met?
Dude, who knows with that stuff? That's why I love baseball. I love sitting down and putting it on during the summer and everything. The contract stuff just really grinds my gears, to quote the famous Peter Griffin. Like, it just drives me crazy, especially when you look at like what the Dodgers is doing with deferring contracts and everything like that. Soto's a phenomenal player. Obviously, the Mets just had themselves a heck of a run into the postseason and just ran into the Dodgers. That's still a really good team. They've still got Alonso. They've got good pitching and everything like that. Adding Soto is going to help. 15 years, I never know what to do with that with baseball, because I'm more of a big time like football guy myself. So I mean, we've in the last 10 years we've seen a Patrick Mahomes 10-year deal and like maybe one other deal that was more than like 6 years. Like, we just don't really see that kind of stuff. But then in Major League Baseball, I mean, not Arenado, Machado just got years ago at this point, but he got a 10+ year contract when he went to the Padres and everything. So it's just normal for them. It's always been weird to me, but we'll see. I mean, Soto's still relatively young. He can play those 15 years and play them at a pretty high level as long as he stays healthy.
It's a big we'll see. The good thing is that Uncle Stevie Cohen is spending some of his billions on that team to compete. So that's what we like to see here as fans. Spend your money, billionaires. Spend that shit. Rip, 1 star. Netflix will have Kay Adams, RG3, Mina Kimes, Drew Brees, and Manti Te'o doing their studio show for the inaugural Christmas Day doubleheader, which is a Wednesday, by the way. Keep that in mind, bettors. Wednesday. Rip, using only 1 star guests, who would sit at your pregame show with you when you're the host?
I mean, it'd have to be our guy, Dick Vitale, and I throw in legendary Hall of Fame coach Larry Brown on there, both former 1-star guests, make me look a little younger, but those guys, so much knowledge. Dickie V, more energy than anyone, probably in the U.S. I think it'd be amazing to have those two on the panel.
I think you should add Michael Crabtree to that list too, and that would be your combo. I think that's how we work it out with 1-star guests there. Not bad at all, Rip. Okay, Richie, somebody flew a plane over MetLife Stadium this last week at the New York Giants game with a sign that said, "Mr. Mara, please fix this dumpster fire now." Something like that. Richie, if you flew a sign over Glendale for the fans that Mr. Bidwell could read, what does that sign say?
Ooh, for Mr. Bidwell to read. That's a good one, man. God, that's so tough right now. I don't consider myself a Kyler Murray apologist, but I definitely consider myself more of a pro Kyler than a pro let's blame everything for Kyler. I would say Drew Petting, he's fine. He's a good enough offensive coordinator. Let's get someone who can actually take Kyler to the next level if and when Brian Dable is fired from the Giants.
Oh,
I would be on it to make
hire Brian Dable
coordinator.
Hire Brian Dable is the sign that we're going to fly for the Mr.
As a
Bidwell
coordinator,
season.
as a coordinator, not a head
As a
coach.
yes,
As a
very
coordinator.
important part.
Yes.
And look, as a Kyler apologist, thank you for being that guy. I am very concerned that he cannot see through the line of scrimmage to see the middle of the field. So, look, we don't have time to get into it, but that's the biggest thing. I don't know if you can fix that because that's just genetics at this stage because we are not using McBride in the middle of the field as well as we can. Rip, same question for you. Glendale, Mr. Bidwell, what does that sign say?
You know me and my opinions on Kyler. My sign would say lower beer prices because I need to come out of there with spending less money to be able to watch Kyler in that squad. They're going to lose the rest of their games this year. It never fails as a Cardinals fan to see him just collapse all the time over and over. I mean, Kyler's probably still top 15 quarterback in the NFL, but I need to be drunk to watch the Cardinals at this point. So lower beer prices, Bidwell.
There you go.
Hey, lower those things. Okay, and if I had a sign that I can go up right now, I would say all ASU alumni, if you love what's happening right now, donate to the program. This is the shit that has to happen. My Rip, I'm going to ask you one more time while Richie's on the show. We're going to the playoffs. You're alumni. You still haven't committed to a donation to this program to Coach Dillingham. He's asking you to get on board. My father's real estate on Broadway and Lakeshore has almost doubled in value because of what Coach Dillingham is doing in Tempe. Rip, will you donate to this program?
I'm a pretty hard liner. I said it would take 2 national titles to get me to open my wallet, but I'm telling you, I'm getting a little activated watching Kenny Dillingham. I've lowered my standards. If Kenny Dillingham comes on this podcast, I will open my wallet and donate to the Sun Devils. I'm close to getting activated, DK. I love what I'm watching as an ASU fan. It's been a long time. And I think, like Richie said, it feels sustainable to me. I don't think Kenny wants to go anywhere else. If he can turn this place into a national powerhouse and sustain it, like I said, it's one of the most miraculous things in college football in the last 20 years.
Richie Bradshaw, sign us off. Talk to the alumni. Go ahead.
Time to get off the bench. Like, if you are still waiting for a reason to get invested into this program, then I don't really know what you're waiting for at this point. It's arguably the best story in college football. It's a really, really young team. They've got some guys that are entering the transfer portal, but most of those guys were bench players who unfortunately just weren't really going to see any big time opportunity. But Kenny Dillingham said earlier in the week that he is looking at the transfer portal and only looking for 8 to 9 guys. What he's telling you is, yeah, this is the roster that we really like. We like the recruits that are coming in. We're going to add a couple of guys to help get us to that next stage. But I mean, Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson can and should return for next year. Yeah, Cam Scadaboo, who I like to call the people's running back. Unfortunately, he is out of eligibility after this year, but they could still return over 30 players from your top 22 on offense and defense. So your starters and the backups of those guys, they can return over 30 of those guys. And they're bringing back both their coordinators. Kenny's going to sign a fat extension. This is sustainable. This is a team that is built to last. It's not a Cinderella team for one season. Like, if you want to call us a Cinderella team this year, I'm good with it because I'm about any momentum. This is a team that's going to be here for a little while. That sleeping giant that everyone has called Arizona State for decades now, it's up. That bitch is up.
It's up, baby. It's up. It's up. Everybody go follow Richie Bradshaw on X at Richie Brads. That's with the Z, BRADZ 36. Always locked in Sun Devils. Give it a Google. Check it out. Hey, give us 5 stars if you like Ted's Hot Dogs. If you've ever been to Filiberto's. If you like that thing I said about the Sparky hoodie and you might get your grandma that idea, give us 5 stars. We appreciate you. We'll be back next week. Richie, thank you so much. Rip, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys. Tempe, stand up.
And shout out to fellow Sun Devil Class of 2000 alum, A-Funk down in Houston. Big Locked On Sun Devils listener, actually suggested that you come on this show, and also big 1-star listener. So Richie Bradshaw, thank you again. Go Sun Devils, and see you next week, 1 stars.
Go Sun Devils, go 1 stars, baby.